It's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabiran. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Mariam Longa. How are you today?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. What's up? Anything happening?
Yes, I think it's about time I talk about my Twitter account. Someone has hacked it and has taken ownership of my Twitter account. I haven't mentioned it because I was following the process of trying to retrieve it. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any luck. So I would just like for people to be aware that that's no longer my Twitter handle.
Oh my
I guess
God.
Someone else is.
How does that happen?
I don't know how that happens. I don't know. So yeah, I will start a brand new one.
Sorry about that.
It's
just painful, to build.
How are you doing, Tope?
Your earrings.
Yes, baby. We discussed it.
Oh, I just noticed.
Birds discussed it.
My darling people.
Somehow I told you that we're going to sing, that she'll come wearing green or what, but she came wearing blue.
No, but she's been in sync for a
whatever it is.
We're not
There's
sinking today.
always three sinking.
Yeah, we've done 4 before, all blue.
Yeah,
and then everybody was asking. I'm good. I'm selling. I have to sell. I need
I thought you were going to just talk about the graduation.
The way I need money right now. Father in heaven, have mercy on me and bless the works of my hand. I have work and I'm working hard.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be using every opportunity and avenue I have to market what I'm selling, which is good. But it's been a wonderful season financially.
Yeah. It is for everybody.
There's just no way I can just it's so in my face right now.
We have to be positive about it.
Yeah.
I'm all right. I'm gonna miss you guys.
It is the last day before the vacation.
Yes, I'm gonna miss you guys.
Much needed.
Yeah, I need to rest and see the world.
Nice.
So I'm still packing. I haven't even sorted out myself yet to the degree that I want to, but I'll hopefully use this evening. So there's this, I got a second place where I'm going to be sharing with other businesses. So it's like a shared space for different stalls. So I'm going to be, they are launching on the 25th. So I'm going to be dropping off my outfits there. So now that I'm on holiday, people can still be patronizing and buying.
Business can still continue.
Business will, business will definitely continue. We need to eat when we come back.
Fantastic. So today's our school party. We had to go shopping for food and snacks and stuff like that, and gifts for teachers and stuff. So I'm happy. It's final day. At least now I can have some freedom instead of dropping the kids and picking up the kids for the next few weeks.
Yeah.
At least they're home. But that's the bill.
For a month.
It's over
6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
My kids want to do summer school. I said, I'm not going to do that summer school.
Don't summer school in their school.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to start another school.
And that school runs
They should sleep they should sleep well. They need to sleep.
They can walk.
Oh yeah, I found someone that can teach children how to cook virtually. Within a month, they can learn 15 Nigerian dishes.
Wow.
Yes, and they will cook it self-paced online, and they'll be teaching them.
They should do all of those. No lessons.
Yes.
I'm not driving.
Yes,
Meanwhile, I don't want the online thing. I want physical
classes.
You have energy now.
So I want to get a Yoruba teacher. I know you have started one.
Yes.
I want to get a proper Yoruba teacher for them. In fact, even myself, I need proper Yoruba lessons.
Myself, I need.
So I want to get a Yoruba teacher who can be coming to teach us proper Yoruba.
I want to speak this language so that when I come here,
so that they're not
I will be giving you passport.
Because my daughter is speaking, but it's not very fluent. I want her to be fluent. So we're going to get a proper Yoruba teacher.
Good summer.
Yeah, summer. At the end of this summer, you must speak Yoruba. What is that?
There's a time frame already.
Yes,
I will start discharging Yoruba very soon.
Cook soup. My children must cook soup.
Yes, so at the end of this summer.
So that's summer plans right now. All right, let's go on a break. Now, don't forget, please, we would love to hear your life stories. Send them to us on YourView at tvccommunications.tv. Please, we love Thursdays because that's when we discuss family life issues, issues about life, where challenges on marriages, relationships, and even lifestyle. So usually we take stories off online, but we just realized that we can actually get the stories directly, and lots of people have been selling stories. So please send us stories so we know indeed that we're actually helping people that we can link and connect to and give feedback to. So please send your stories to us on YourView at TVC Communications. Tell us your story today, share your burning issues with us, and we'll be happy to give you feedback. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, let's start with the nation. 1.959 trillion naira allocation windfall for federal government, states, and councils. How court granted 72.2 billion naira damages against EcoBank in favor of Honeywell. Presidents will do well for women, says EDU. Experts project firm up of naira in 6 months. CJ never spoke with Tinubu, says Supreme Court. UTME results forgery, Mesoma begs jam. Agency gives conflicting petrol's consumption figures. Tinubu Akpabio governors strategize over palliatives. All right, so let me start with experts. So financial market experts yesterday projected the naira to strengthen to between 550 naira and 600 naira to the dollar at the investors and exporters window. According to the experts, the spike we've seen right now in the market will be short-lived as more foreign investors pump dollars into the market and into the economy. The analysts also projected that an uptick in foreign reserves to $60 billion is expected to be into our foreign reserves. And they said that it will impact the ongoing economic reforms by the federal government and resonate across key economic factors and sectors. Analysts at the various AfriVest West Africa PLC, an investment research firm, was saying this during a company's media investment party in Lagos State yesterday.
So the 19-year-old JAMB candidate Mesoma Ejikeme, accused by JAMB of results forgery, has finally apologized. So we know that she had claimed she scored 362 against 249 that JAMB gave to her. And she read an apology letter at the investigative hearing by the House of Reps and ad hoc committee. And present at the hearing was the JAMB registrar, Professor Isiaka Aloyede. And she pleaded for leniency, promised that this will not happen again, that she has never been involved in any examination malpractice all her life. She was in the hearing in the company of her lawyer and family member, and she promised to become a better person. So she read some things, and I want to quote, said, "I deeply and sincerely admit that I ignorantly got my JAMB result from another portal that was not JAMB portal. But in the course of this, I lambasted JAMB, solidly standing my ground that I obtained my results from JAMB portal, amongst other things." So you can hear me? No. Okay. So you're listening to the apology, right? Yeah. I apologize for all the apportioned blame and all the pain I have caused. I want to emphasize that ignorance played a significant role in my misguided action. I learned a clear understanding of the far-reaching consequences and the impact of my actions would have. So I'm sure definitely the lawyer had helped her to put this together. But we are waiting to hear what JAMB has to say finally.
Yes.
Right.
I have agency gives conflicting petroleum consumption figures. Interesting conversation. So conflicting consumption figures released by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority has caused confusion. They said initially the agency has stated that 52 million liters were consumed daily by Nigerians, but the CEO, Farouk Ahmed, later said that it's actually 46.3 million liters that's consumed daily by Nigerians. And so stakeholders in the sector are asking NMDPRA and NMPCL to account for the 6 million liters per day difference, since the phasing out of fuel subsidy. And as we know, NMPCL has always been the sole supplier of petrol in the country up until the fuel subsidy was taken off, or till July. The industry watch also says it's possible the company did not supply 52 million liters per day, or it supplied this for 52 million liters, but over 6 million liters was not consumed in Nigeria. So it means, and we're talking about people taking it out of Nigeria and selling it to other countries. And Nigerian Customs Service also said that the smuggling of petrol has not stopped despite the removal of subsidies.
Wow.
So we're still taking our petroleum products out.
Yes.
After it's to show us the conversation now is, so we've been paying much more than we were consuming.
Yes,
it
was obvious.
So there's a lot that has to be done. Anyway, as we know, other companies who got their import licenses have started brought in petroleum products. So very soon,
hopefully we'll see
get
this
more
market
products, and maybe the prices would come down.
When I was trying to explain to somebody in my house, a young lady, that the market force, like, this market, this market forces come. Let this market forces come. So hopefully in the next few weeks we'll see the market forces work.
But my parents said that once they dropped subsidy, the queues that used to block Apapa stopped. It stopped. There's no trailer parking to block the road. So even though they're still going across the border, I'm sure the number would have
reduced. Maybe smuggling would have reduced.
Yes.
Right. Okay, let's find another story. So I think I have another story in which one?
I have a story in Nation. So let me.
I'm taking my story, right? Yes, I have. Go ahead.
Let me take the story about Osun State Governor. He's appointed 25 commissioners, and out of those 25 commissioners, 2 actually are from APC. In his PDP government.
Governor with a large heart.
In his speech, he spoke about the fact that he doesn't want he wants a responsive government. He wants people to be in tune with the needs of his people.
Right.
That the leaders he's appointing must be in tune with the needs of the people. And because of the economic hardship that is going on, he's appealing to them to come up with innovation. That this time, for us to achieve much with little resources, we must adopt cost reduction in projects and services. He also spoke about the fact that he wants transparency, accountability, and many more. But the highlight was that he appointed a lawyer as the Commissioner for Health among the 25, which people are a bit confused concerning. So I would like his press secretary to give us his reasons for appointing a lawyer as Commissioner for Health. I'm sure he has his own reasons, so he should tell us. And he retained the portfolio as Commissioner for Works.
You understand? Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
So, some very deep topical issues. And last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table. So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail, or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
Ikechukwu Sunday Okonkwo, aka Cross. Now your intro without
Wow.
So there's a name that thing that's.
I'm just drinking because you say I should drink. There's no particular answer. Okay.
I think it's only the weekend.
What's the answer?
Subterfuge.
Eh?
Yeah, they claim you did, but you said.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start now with Punch. Fuel price hike. Business operators panic, fear shutdown, and job losses. Picture story here. Soldiers arrest Beninese. One other with truckload of cannabis. Mesoma appears before Reps panel on Bex Jam. Train attack. Court okays secretary. Secret trial of Boko Haram negotiator. Drug dealers forfeit 111 abandoned vehicles to federal government. Questions, anxieties as Tinubu drag feet on appointments of ministers. NNPCL monopoly ends as marketers' fuel vessel arrives. Renowned Nigerian writer Kole Omotosho dies at 80. Okay, let me start with the picture story because it was a follow-up to the story I took yesterday where Major General Mwachukwu was telling us about the troops of 192 Battalion, the Nigerian Army operating in the 81 Division area, arrested a truckload of cannabis into the country. One was they were actually coming from Ghana, was transported from Ghana, and they had investigated and revealed that it was filled with marijuana, smuggled into the country, and it was at the Agilete Road in Yewa South local government of Ogun State. According to the statement, the Major General Unye Manwachigo, suspects conveyed the drugs in a truck without a plate number, but were tracked down by the troops of the 192nd Battalion, and they were arrested. And the man's name is, let me get his name, Matthew Edegbe, is a Benin Republic national, and Joshua Benin Republic national, and Joshua Dansu of Idiroko, also he's a Nigerian, and he was a truck driver. Really, really, but at least we have the story, the picture here. Yes, the pictures. Okay.
So let me just take another story. Yeah, the drug story. So NDLEA on Wednesday secured an order from the Federal High Court in Lagos for the final forfeiture of 111 vehicles and motorcycles that have been abandoned by alleged drug dealers. So they've been in court, and the court has just, given them the go-ahead to acquire this, to take these properties and then sell them off and, of course, remit the funds to the federal government. And the grounds for it is that no one has indicated any interest in any of the vehicles, and that they were now at various degrees of deterioration. So.
Okay, another story?
Yes, so members of the organized private sector yesterday expressed fear over the possible shutdown of businesses and job losses following the hike in the pump price of premium motor spirits. And, they said they, started reeling out the numbers of how the petrol had gone up from 537 a litre to between 617 and 630 a litre. And that has triggered anger across the country. So commenting on the matter, the President's Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Francis Mishoye, said the unpredictability of fuel price hike will take a serious toll on manufacturers who already have to readjust their budgets to factor in added costs caused by the removal of the fuel subsidy. He said that will raise the prices of cost of logistics, and that has been compounded already by the hike. And so when you now get your products, you are fighting to sort out your power supply, everything has gone up, and then you transfer the cost that you don't see many businesses surviving. And we've been talking about this, a lot of businesses have been closing up, and it's not easy for small and medium scale businesses. So they are saying that the government needs to always have conversations with stakeholders before policies that are supposed to affect the common people will be, had. And they thought that when they made that first announcement that the change will be minimal. What the effect will be minimal, but it's just so high that a lot of businesses will be closing. So,
a decision that all the political parties agree that they're going to do. Yeah. Everybody said they're going to do something.
They didn't see how it would affect all of us. They didn't see the extent.
But another thing that is affecting a lot of businesses is the fact that the decision of the ministers haven't been made. Punch is breaking down that 52 days without ministers, that the economic crisis didn't. The expectation was that it was going to be, it would hit faster. It would be faster. The LCCI
constitutionally has 60 days.
Constitutionally it has 60 days. The Nigerian Employers Consultative Association, Mr. Wadaderi, they said that even though a lot of businesses are apprehensive, they should understand that it has not exceeded the timeline for when this will be done. But the communication had gone out that it will be dropping the list on Wednesday, 18th, and then the list did not come out. So the LCCI, the deputy president of LCCI also mentioned that everybody is waiting. Many people that wanted to bring in funds into the country are pausing to see how the appointment will go, so that they are sure that he is going to follow up the promises he made during the campaign. People also, comments also from economic facilitators are saying that the president had been preparing to be a president even before the elections, even before he won the primaries. So the idea that he hasn't been able to put together a list of ministers is worrisome for people. But we are all waiting, the entire country. We are waiting.
All right, moving on now to Sun. Aftermath of fuel price hike, commuters groan as transport fare soars. Obi bemoans just killings, celebrates birthday with Plateau IDPs. Subsidy removal, FG set to review workers' salary, says Akpabio. Reps probe airport concession, sovereign wealth funds. DSS clears Mba of NYSC discharge certificate forgery. Tinubu meets Senate, President and governors over economy. Equating ex-Niger Delta agitators to northern bandits criminals, says Clark. Okay, which story are we taking in Daily Sun?
We can talk about the subsidy removal as well. So we know that a lot of governors are trying to, cushion the effects of the subsidy removal on their people. But they said Senate President Godswill Akpabio was assuring Nigerian workers of their readiness to review the salaries of everybody. He said, this is said when he visited Governor of Ekiti State, Abiodun Yebanji, and members of the National Assembly from the state. And he said that the removal of subsidy was just to help curb corruption in the petroleum industry. And that is what everybody just has to wait out and see how it goes. And if they had not removed the subsidy at this time, the next few years will not have been easy. They may not have been able to even pay salaries and wages of the people. So, but now they are working towards, reviewing the salaries and wages so that at least people can have a living wage. The Colleges of Education Academic Staff Union, COESU, also directed their members, nationwide to go to work just 2 times in a week, because of, the after effects of the subsidy removal and the fact that they were demanding 200% increase in salary. Until the government gives them that, they just have to do a meeting and decide which days of the week they will be going to work, since most of them are not able to access transportation because they do not have, their money cannot take them through that. So let's just see how some of these things play out.
All right, so the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, yesterday visited Benue State and Plateau State. He said he cannot be celebrating his 62nd birthday after 327 people have been killed in this state. Obi appealed to all those who desired to celebrate him to please send gifts to those in need around them in these difficult times. He stated this yesterday in Lagos, saying the spate of insecurity in Benue and Plateau State made it difficult for him to celebrate his 62nd birthday. He, however, visited the Mangu local government in Plateau State, where he gave money and food to more than 18,000 displaced people. He visited the residents, greeted them, and also went in to see the Governor Caleb Mufwang, where he commiserated with him on the terror attack and said there's far too much insecurity in the land and bloodshed, and we need to do something to ensure that people are safe.
Let me take the story about the airport concession. So the reps have been asked, they set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the concession of airports in the country and report back with further legislative action. The motion was moved by Kama, in Kem Kama, and he spoke during the plenary that the Nigerian airports have been consensual in his allegation to foreign firms and a few, he called them economic vampires. He said that we have Lagos, Abuja, and Kano, and they've consistently been subject of controversies due to personal interest that undermines the law of the land, and irrespective of occasional anti-corruption efforts by EFCC and ICPC, they've not been able to resolve the main issues that these airports, even though they are concessioned to a few Nigerians and foreign cohorts, they have not displayed any level of growth that Nigeria should have a better quality, that we cannot compare globally to the Dubai, Amsterdam, Qatar, and other airports. And even within Africa, none of our international airports can compete within Africa with South African and or even Moroccan or Algerian airports that they need to investigate. That we're also lagging behind Kenya and Ethiopia airline. Like, there's a lot of things wrong with our aviation sector, and it feels like a few Nigerians are profiteering from the opportunity.
Move on to Vanguard. Petrol price hike insensitive. PDP, LP tell APC and presidency. Subsidy removal. Lecturers in colleges of education to go to work twice daily. Mbaz NYSC discharge certificates not fake, says DSS. I didn't speak with Tinubu. Judges handling OB articles petitions, says CJN. Plateau troops seize 1,000 cows grazing communities' farmlands. Emefiele, lawyers tackle DSS overcharge and bill tweet. Ganduje Almakura battle for APC chairmanship, and reps suspend concession of airports. Okay, which story?
I have Plateau State. So operatives of Operation Safe Haven have seized no fewer than 1,000 cows and a large number of sheep alleged to be released by herders to graze on farmlands in communities in the Mangu local government area. Remember, we talked about Mangu local government area, the killings that happened there just a few weeks ago. They're also saying this happened just as 2 persons were confirmed killed at Weren community in Riyom local government following attacks by armed men. Villagers have described these armed men as Fulani militias. The operatives of Operation Safe Haven also said that they repelled gunmen at Gwarim neighborhood, but also extended the attacks to Kuru station in Wereng and Rian. 2 persons were killed by gunmen at Wereng yesterday. So we also have the senator representing Plateau Central, Dike Planf, raised alarm over the sustained grazing on farms, calling for urgent steps to arrest the situation. So the situation is there's some people, they are inciting with their behavior by releasing cows and sheep onto farmlands. And then also there's attacks on people, there's killings, there's just so much going on in that part of Plateau State.
Very, very short. One of the PANDEF head, Chief Edwin Clark, has said that it was very wrong to equate the Niger Delta Amnesty Program to the Northern Bandits, which is criminal, and they applauded the fact that Arewa Consultative Forum had consistently always said that these groups are criminals. They've killed over 63,000 Nigerians in the guise of bandits, Killer Fulani Herdsmen, Boko Haram, ISWAP, and Sarmi IPOB. These are global terrorists ranked groups and should not be equated with an economical fight for justice within the Niger Delta area. This is according to Edwin Clark.
That's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, it's Thursday. We'll discuss our hot topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abi?
Yeah. It was great.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Oh, go ahead.
What does ISO stand for?
That is it. I think I'll drink.
No, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Kelechi Amadi. No. Shay, you didn't whine me. You're whining me now.
I think I'll drink.
Huh?
No problem.
Okay.
I've always known this as ISO. I never bothered to know what it means. I know what it means, but I never bothered to know what the acronym is. Tell me the brand of camera that I use, so much so that I even became an ambassador. That's very easy. You know, it's out there.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
I just said, let me give you this one as a token of my appreciation.
Sony.
Drink!
Wait, I'm not done. You did not say final answer.
It's final answer.
You did not ask me if that was my final
You
answer.
don't have any choice again. It's only
Nikon.
how many cameras do they have? My
Nikon.
friend to drink. I gave you a very easy something.
Nikon now. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni, Yeni, Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger!
Yeah, take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
Ha. I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
Eh?
I said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75.
I confirm.
Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half. I try.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Ọmọ ọmọ Fẹlá. Ọmọ Anikulapo Kuti. Wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's by audition. It's not by audition.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Ikechukwu Sunday Okonkwo, aka Cross. Now your intro without
Wow.
So there's a name that thing that's.
I'm just drinking because you said I should drink. There's no particular answer.
You think it's only that can be wicked?
What's the answer?
Subterfuge.
Eh?
Yeah. They claim you did, but you said it just happened. That
And it's called what again?
Subterfuge.
Such a feud.
SUBTERFUGE.
So you look me finish from head to toe. You look at a person who go know what to become such. Yeah?
The nude wasn't like a game plan. Or...
I promise you, it was actually a mistake.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyinka the First. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Benga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the questions.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for enter. My first question.
do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this. Because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? I think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking because I know back in the day.
Don't think. As I'm overthink.
I would say you should catwalk.
Let's catwalk. Where are we?
No, that's not catwalking.
That's good talking.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind?
Thanks for staying with us. So today we're going to be discussing a topic some people find quite disturbing. And I'll say a lot of men especially find it quite disturbing. The issue of exes is our conversation today. You know, Thursdays are days we like to talk about family, relationship. We call it our open house Thursday. And it's a day where we'd like to discuss things that affect our homes, our relationships, and our lifestyle. And the issue of exes came about when we got an information about the fact that a man said that his wife was in constant touch with her ex. They were in touch, in conversations. He was her best friend, somebody he used to always confide in. And in fairness to her, it was a platonic, yes, they had a relationship, but eventually it became a platonic relationship because she was married to him. And he was also involved in that friendship. I mean, he was a good person, but there was just somewhere in him that he felt rather uncomfortable, knowing that she always and often tried to refer to him or to defer to him on certain things within their marriage. What are your thoughts on the issue of marriage? I'll come to you, like to establish this. There was
another story that broke about a guy that said this, his girlfriend that is sponsoring her education got pregnant for her ex.
Yes.
So that so he's now coming on social media to say that if he hears or sees anybody that is in a relationship with talking in any form with any ex,
that's the end.
That's the end of that relationship because he's now he's heartbroken because well,
so that is in that story. So there are several of these stories also where people keep talking about the fact that he's just my friend or she's just my friend. Even on guys will tell you, I have a female friend, we've been friends forever, she's my bear, she's my buddy, she's my friend, but you are my wife, you're my heart, you're my love, you're this, but this one is just my girl. You know, how do you differentiate your ex, your friend, from your marriage? That's our conversation today. You can call us on 081 076 1679 or 09024163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read the tweet. We don't want the judgmental conversations. I would like to hear from people who actually do have exes and they're friends and nothing is happening and you guys are just friends and they're probably involved in your relationship and you have a very civil relationship. I would like to hear your story because that's not the usual. You know, people always assume that once you're an ex, once they bear, was that Okafor's law?
Yeah, Okafor's
and there's always that the possibility. But there are some people that actually are fine. They are able to differentiate their past from their present. We've seen, is it Jada Pinkett and her ex and the other, I mean, before the situation right now, everybody had a relationship where you are his ex, but you're involved because you have a child with us. So there is that civility. So to the modern times, modern relationships, respect and understand the places of ex sometimes. So how do we bring that home? Because in Nigeria, some wives don't accept one ex lurking in the background. In the shadows. What are your thoughts? Ladies, let me start with you. Who would like to go first?
Okay, let me start first because I'm married to a man who has an ex-wife.
Yes.
So that's what when I heard this story, I was like, well, there are different degrees of exes. If you are just boyfriend and girlfriend hanging out, I guess it will seem a bit weird that you've moved on into a marriage and the person is a part of your life. You don't share children, you don't share house, you don't share family, you don't even share a pet. So you're like, okay, what is the connection? Yeah. I can understand how that may come across as a bit uncomfortable. If you're with someone who was married and there's an ex-wife or ex-husband in the picture with children involved, there's a different kind of mindset you need to have to be in that sort of relationship. You now recognize that that person is a part of your family, whether you like it or not. Those children will forever bind these two forever. And also, I think it's important to note that it's like in my case, how he talks about the ex-wife and how he treats his children should be a very good indicator to you of the sort of person he can be to you yourself. Don't just always assume that if someone is mean to the one outside, all of a sudden their behavior will change with you. But if that person shows decency, even with someone that they're falling out of good relationship with, it shows to you to a large degree that this person can be decent, even though this is something that may have caused them a heartbreak or broken their relationship. So for me, I feel when you find yourself in a situation where there's a marriage, children are involved, there has to be open communication. Do not take yourself completely out of, some people will say, oh, I don't need to be involved. Do not take yourself completely out of that relationship. Be part of it. Understand why they are meeting. Form a relationship with the children. Have a cordial civil relationship with the ex outside, because that person is going to be in constant relationship with your husband or in your household. But also set boundaries. Yes, they cannot show up. They cannot show up in your house just because I'm walking down the street and I just thought, no, you must send me a message. I know that you're coming and I prepare for you.
So there's something about exes, because they know you better than, probably better than your current spouse. So maybe in the place of ex-marriage, maybe they were your, what they call that thing, childhood sweetheart. So they have those stories of, when you're in university, that person, how Shegun used to, they have the names of all your friends back in the day. And those things happen where, so you want to be civil as a 2020, millennium babe. You want to be civil to allow her, to come around because, hey, she has a child for you or something. But you also feel rather uncomfortable with some conversations because you are not in that past with them. How should you manage that? See, this is your facial expression. I don't understand.
I don't understand you people, but I like how Miriam started. So there are different degrees to everything. And I don't think in this situation it's about this situation that you painted where there's a child involved. Once a child is involved, that you people are together for life. There's nothing about it. The focus is on the ex that did not lay any egg in the house. There's nothing gluing you together. I am nobody's ex in Jesus' name, and nobody's my ex. Once that relationship packs up, please carry your bag and face another direction, because there are several things that can happen. I was listening to someone one day, and he said, there is no man that is in a relationship, a platonic relationship with a woman, that is in that platonic relationship without the hope that one day this woman will need a shoulder, and from shoulder we will enter another thing. There is no man. That men are not wired to have platonic relationships with women. And I agree because I've seen it play out. So you can have a relationship where in your head, we're just friends. Oh, we knew before, but it didn't work out. If it didn't work out, why are you still keeping the relationship? Why are you still friends? Why are you still channeling energy? So the conversations you're supposed to have with your partner, because you feel this is my ex and he understands me better, you divert the conversation to the ex. If you channel that energy to your partner, you will build a better relationship. But you have a partner, but you have another guy that's just, no, he's just platonic. In his mind, he's waiting for one day.
Okay.
That rain will, Mara, you'll be allowing me now. You will miss me.
They are shouting in my ears that they were going to break.
Oh, let's go on a break.
Let's go on a break.
I didn't know.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Oh yeah, sorry. Where are you?
I'm at the bus stop.
Dinner is ready and mommy wants you to come home.
Come in as soon as I get a bus.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyinka the first. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Gbenga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the questions.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for Inter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? I think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking because I know back in the day.
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer. Okay. I said, God, please, let me to perform outside Nigeria.
Wait.
And God gave me a show in Ghana. Drink, my friend, drink. I don't
overthink this thing. See where I can.
Yes, you overthink them.
I would say you should catwalk.
Let's catwalk now. Where are we?
No, that's not catwalking.
That's good walking.
Ikechukwu Sunday Okonkwo, aka Cross. Now your intro without one.
Wow.
So there's a name that thing that's.
I'm just drinking because you say I should drink. There's no particular answer.
You think it's only that can be wicked?
What's the answer?
Subterfuge.
Eh?
Yeah. They claim you did, but you said it just happened. That
and it's called what again?
Subterfuge.
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 So you look me finish from head to toe. You look at a person who go know what to become subterfuge. Yeah?
The nude wasn't like a game plan. Or...
I promise you, it was actually a mistake.
My problem is that to sabi Pop Marley for the pool party.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen.
Thanks for staying with us. Sorry to cut you off, BC. Please go ahead with the points you're trying to make.
I hope I can remember everything.
Let me come to Tokwe then. I'll come back to you. So Tokwe, your initial thoughts on this story.
So for me, we're going to likely see things from the same perspective, in that it depends on the degree of intimacy that was shared in that relationship. If you've already, I believe in somewhat the Okafor's law, like if you've been intimate with someone, there's a level of connection that you would have had with that person, especially from the perspective of the woman. I know they say men are able to be intimate with someone and it's just a physical thing. But for women, it's more than that. And in this perspective, it is the woman we're talking about, right? So if there's been if there was intimacy in the ex relationship, there should be no room for seeing how things go or checking on one another. If you're already ex, you're my ex for a reason, please stay an ex. But if there was no intimacy, because I have a relationship with someone I dated before, and he's still my friend, he's a medical doctor. If I have a concern that I need to talk to the doctor about, he's the first person that will come to my mind. So we talk. Maybe in recent times, not often, but we were still talking back to back, like up until a year or two ago. So if my children have cough, what should we do? Mommy is complaining of back pain because like we dated, but we were very, very close, like friends, and we did not get into.
Okay, let me bring in this angle, Tokwe, because there's a possibility that a man and woman are in a state where the only helper the woman can think of is her ex, who is probably the MD of a company now or doing very well. Or there is a possibility where the only person that can help this couple is where the woman who is the commissioner of something or the minister of something. Have these exes who are in big places, who we try really hard not to link up with, because hey, you are happy for them, they're doing well, but you could be in a fix, a serious fix, where you feel, this person can help me out. Yes, we shared personal things before, but I know stories where a party reached out to an ex. That person helped. Unfortunately for the person, the ex was also single. She was actually divorced. And then the ex gradually helped them. And the wife accepted that the ex was in her life to help us. She helped for an extent. And eventually, she started coming closer. Before you say Jack Robinson, man has gone. Back to the ex. Because they shared wife is now an ex. So that is usually the story. But there's some instances where the ex help and know when to leave because he or she feels that, let me assist them. So it's always tricky. When you feel that your help, I need help, I'm in a serious economic state, but my help can actually help me to provide a solution to my problem.
Nothing is tricky. It's not tricky. It's just the sort of person that you are. Are you disciplined? Do you have integrity? Are you toxic? Those are the things that make a difference. People have relationships with people that they used to be in relationships with, who are their exes, and it's healthy. It's a healthy relationship based on, this is someone I used to know or someone I used to date. This person may not constantly be in your face or in the same circle of friends, but it's such a relationship that when something comes up, you know that you can reach out to that person for help and vice versa. And it may not even be personal help to you yourself. It may be someone that you know who may need the help and say, even remind you, remember that your friend that you used to be in, do you know that he's now this sort of, please could you reach out to, those are healthy relationships. All relationships can be healthy or unhealthy. People are the ones that decide to turn things around. If your ex helps you, the only reason why you would now form a close relationship is because you have no self-discipline. You have no respect for the relationship that you have already with your wife. That someone helped you does not mean that you should break your house, you should break it apart and go and be with a relationship. I don't think there's one invisible pull that pulls you back to an ex and holds you down and you're unable to break off because you are now in the same, or there's this magnetic thing that holds you down and you're unable to break.
What if they know things about you that your current partner doesn't know?
We give the ex so much power over the current partner. If she was such a great ex, why is she an ex? Why if he was such a great ex, why is he an ex? Why is he not the current partner? You know, people have left relationships, started building new relationships with people, married them, have children with them, grandchildren, all sorts of fun things are happening. You, the ex, you're just an ex. And I feel that even you as an ex, you do yourself a disservice by trying to push yourself into a relationship that you may have been rejected for in the first place, and now you're trying to find your way in there. So
all right, let me take this call and I'll come back to you.
Unhealthy decisions will give you unhealthy outcomes.
Hello, good morning. Thanks for calling. Stephen,
good
I believe.
Yeah.
You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
All right, thank you. Okay, a quick one. I would have loved to dive into this, but time will not permit me. So to summarize so that other people can call in. Number one, we need to understand that everybody's lifestyle is different, courtesy of his religion, his biology, his parents, and his culture. I'm going to dwell on two things. One, for the singles, and two, for the married. I'm a married person, and then I've been in the single field before, and I know what it is. Most times, what people don't understand is this. One of the major things that brings excess, that is both X together, let's call it spade, is sex. That's what drops two of them too close to each other. If someone doesn't have intimacy with anybody, no matter how nice you are with the person, nothing will be attractive to that person. And the reason why most people go back to their exes is when they remember the intimacy that they had. Then when they see themselves after so many years, they want to rejuvenate it again. So I usually advise people, or advise, what I'm calling now is this. For the singles that are not yet married, or when you are getting married, if you have anything to do with your ex, what you do is go cleanse yourself, purify yourself, be transparent. Tell the person you are getting married to right now that this was the ex you had something with before, in case anything might want to come up. Because whether you like it or not, you guys, the world is a small place. Anything can happen. You can meet anywhere. Just like what Auntie Morayo said, that if the person is an MD or this, it needs to help someone and all that. But you see, from the foundation, you've already told the person you are getting married to, and this is how it has been, and then you go and clean yourself spiritually, culturally, and otherwise. Erase every memory, so that whenever you see that ex again, nothing will trigger up. And then for the married, if you are a married man or you are a married woman, to be honest with you, getting back to your ex is dangerous, because you are bringing sins of the past into your marriage. So what you would do is, if either to take you and your wife or you and your husband out of the sin, both in communication, anything that will have to do with you and your exes, both from the husband side or from the wife side, should be eliminated completely. Okay. That is my contribution.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stephen. Appreciate it. Just let me let you jump in, because I've tried to paint a scenario where it's not as if the ex was gingerly minding their business where they were. It was you that needed help. You can say, please, sister, my wife is looking for a job. Can you help her? Or my husband is looking for a job. Can you help him? And they help. And from there, in appreciation, let her invite him or her to dinner, and then we now hit it off. And then during dinner, he or she is going back to, remember when Sunday went to go and jump the fence? Remember when, and they're discussing stuff that you have no clue about. And then you feel like, okay, that there's a connection, and your husband or wife comes alive. There's something that comes alive in that conversation. Then you now see the signals and try to distance, but eventually they get together. So my point is that how do we set boundaries, or how do we manage exes who are somehow in our lives? They can't leave because we need them. They're in our lives.
No, they're not in our lives, except we have a child together. Or there's that's connect, there are children involved in marriage. If it's just boyfriend and girlfriend that the relationship did not work, you can't be in my life and I can't be in your life. That's one. Secondly, your ex is not your God. The God that gives you a vision will make provision for you. So if it doesn't come through your ex, it doesn't mean that you will not get that blessing. It may not be that particular job that you're eyeing. Maybe he's in oil and gas and all of that. It could be in another department. It could be in another industry. And that's also okay. There's no law that states, because I've known you and you're in a position, you must help me. It's not by force. It's not a must. And I will not even present, give you that opportunity to come and help me. I won't even bring that conversation close to you. If you help and I'm not aware, maybe you find the child's name or my husband's name, and you're like, is it not this person? And you decide to do that. God bless you, but I didn't ask for it. So that I am not owing you one for later. right? Now, secondly, I know that we always believe that for women, when it comes to sexual or intimacy, intimacy, that it's the woman that is more emotionally attached. Men have emotions too. They can get attached, especially if that place was very good. They will say that. You will hear them have conversations like, there's a lot that is involved when you are building a relationship, especially a new relationship. And that means that you need all of your focus. Because you've mentioned something like, what if it's the ex that knows you better than? You're still giving room to the ex. If you ignore the ex and face your person, he will begin to know you. And what makes you think the ex knows better? Do we really know human beings? You can date somebody for 16 years and the person does not know half of what you can do. So it's not an excuse. That energy to sanctify your space and focus on your relationship is what we should give. Because I've said it before, men don't really do platonic. There's always hope. It was Steve that said it. I will remember his other name. There's always that hope. And he said it in a group where there were a lot of men, and they all agreed. There's always that glimpse of hope that one day somebody will fall, and then I'll be there to give my shoulder, and something can happen. So let's just be safe, especially as women. If you're done with this relationship, move on. There's nothing like ex. You are nobody's ex, right? You're nobody's ex.
Let me take this call from Joseph. Good morning, Joseph. Thanks for calling. I'm so sorry for keeping you. I do apologize.
Sorry.
Yes, go ahead, Tokwe.
So, yes, I agree with. Like I said, if you've had intimate relationship with someone, you shouldn't nurture a relationship with that person going forward. While you can trust yourself, the other person will be might be nursing ideas, and you don't want to catch yourself in compromising situation where even in all your clear mind, you might get raped. Anything can happen. Someone might feel like maybe you are giving them green light when you actually were not seeing it at all. So that is important to put in one space. Another thing is, let's talk about insecurity in dealing with insecurity of the partner that is on the receiving end of a relationship between two exes.
Exactly.
Because sometimes there might be no intimacy. Like I said, I had a relationship with someone. I won't even really call him my ex, but we had a relationship. We dated, he was interested, but I calculated my own timing, and everybody on the show knows that I had a time frame for when I wanted to settle down. And based on the fact that he was studying medicine, I knew from the calculation we were not going to be able to get married. So the relationship did not go anywhere. But when he became a doctor, he's my friend. And if I had medical concerns, I reach out to him. What that meant was my husband knew that, that's your former boyfriend, that doctor. He came to my house for the naming ceremony. My mommy knows him. Like, we had a relationship, but imagine if he wasn't secure, or if he was insecure and feels that maybe there's a way this guy looked at my wife, maybe something will happen while there's nothing going on. We need to address the insecurities from the perspective of the other partner who is seeing what is not there because they are scared that something might happen between the parties, and it is wrong. It has led to people it has led to domestic violence. Some cases has even led to loss of life.
Is insecure, why don't you therefore understand that, okay, you can't, while she's dealing with her insecurities, why don't you then let go of the
and help her now?
Help her insecurity.
So I agree with that to an extent, but you cannot live your life based on your partner's insecurity. We shouldn't deal with that. We should deal with the person that is insecure. Stop being insecure.
No, you can be insecure.
So there are different reasons why someone can be insecure. You can be insecure because he's not really aware to the extent of your feelings right now. What behaviors are you showing to make the partner question the motive for your relationship? So sometimes insecurity is not just because this person is just an insecure person. Sometimes insecurities come because of the way we are conducting ourselves. And so it's making me question. So if that's the case, then now we are dealing with a different kind of human being, and in that case, you may have to go to see a therapist, both of you.
And let me take this call from Iretere, calling from Bielsa. Thanks for calling, Iretere.
Yes, good morning, ladies in the studio. Regular listener calling for the first time.
Welcome to the show.
Your programs are so tonic, and in fact, for the past 3 Thursdays, it has been serious discussions, but to reach to you is always a problem. But the point is now, there are some things that Personally, I would have loved to discuss it, release to some of you, but I don't know. I know you're all married people. I don't know about the way things are in Nigeria. So what do we do? I have personal things. So what do I do?
YouTube, your view at tvccommunications.tv.
It's on the screen right now.
On the screen.
Come again?
Take a picture of the screen right now.
The screen.
Take a picture of the screen and send your email to that. Okay? All right, so moving on now. Yes.
Move on, yeah. So, you know, the aspect of the fact that we need to start dealing with the partner that has insecurity. There are people, like she rightly mentioned, that have insecurity. The fact that you woke up and you're taking a different oxygen from their own is a problem, right? We know those ones. They have their issues, and that can be dealt with differently. But sometimes why these insecurities come out. So men cannot really tell when a woman is coming after them, right? According to them, what they say. But they can sense it when their female partner is attracted to a guy. So you think in your head that I don't have any feelings for this ex anymore. And he comes into the house. You have not smiled with your husband since. You people are gisting and you are smiling. You are raising your leg. You are laughing. He mentioned something that you people did together. Your body, your husband will just sit down there.
It's chemistry now.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It's chemistry.
That's what I'm saying. But how was that chemistry when you people decided to let
Maybe life happened. Life, you're working, he's
fantastic.
working, you're working.
So you want to now tell the man, because he's seen all the chemistry, he should remove his face and deal with his insecurity. You help him. That's your job. You understand that you may not see yourself the way the man is seeing you because he's the third party who is observing. You may not even notice that you are smiling and your smile that used to stop here has gotten here. He's seeing it and he's like, why is making my wife all ticklish? And he tells you that I don't understand this, I don't really like it. And you say, guy, you are insecure. That's wrong.
Okay.
So
what if because he's always working, he's hardly at home, he's very busy providing for the family, and he has forgotten to be friends with you. And suddenly you now have a friend who came from the past who doesn't have, he's not paying bills like you. So, but you as a woman must be able to separate it. Okay, the reason why my husband is always hard-faced is because he's constantly thinking of the economics of the house. This guy is my buddy. We're just gisting, we're trusting, and that's why I'm laughing. So
laughing and throwing your leg up.
Hey, she's happy.
You know, we're
helping your husband.
Do you understand? We're human beings and we have all these very emotions and things. And sometimes, you know, we're just also looking at it as if this person is just insecure and wants to shut it down. Sometimes that new relationship or that excitement that your wife or your husband has, it's a message to you.
Yes.
It's feedback. Like, my God, I can't remember the last time I made her smile.
Yeah.
Because every time I come home, all I want to say, what have you made? Have you done this? Have you done this? I have not engaged this lady on a person
of a man's mind. Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
Ladies and gentlemen, multiple award-winning actor, producer, ambassador of Edo People, we have Etinosa Idemudia in the building.
Not be first to go police station, they win the case.
Okay.
So you are showing yourself.
I go see as my second question.
You are feeling like a contact the prancing peacock. I'm about to cut your wings. Hello? Now, in the amalgamation of 1914, who was the woman who drew the line of the amalgamation? Who cut the report? Who is the person that used scissors? What is his name?
That woman.
You have done me dirty. I'll mark your face. I'll mark your face if anything happens to me today.
I don't
if I don't reach my house. Anyway, I'm gonna be chauffeured, so.
You remember now, Avi? Yeah, but you never too thin. Now you remember.
Hey.
If a person who indulges habitually in This is 7 of 7. My name is OJ and signing a sobriety into my hands tonight on this social experiment called the 7 of 7 is Owen G.
Thanks for staying with us. So to wrap this up, we're going to take a few comments on social media and see how we can get some final thoughts on this. Tokwe, any comments on social media?
Yes, somebody said, Erekere, that's like...
You answer that in English. There's no English for that one.
No. He said there's a Yoruba saying from Andrew in Streatham. He said, Erekere nimfa onyukonyu. Then in English, he said, dangerous play.
Okay.
Now they cause dangerous pregnancy.
Okay.
So don't play dangerous play.
So
that's what he's saying.
Boost Your Social Psych was responding, I think, to what Mariah said. He said it's not chemistry, anything. Once you live with someone, love wanes as a result. How many of you can live with your brothers and sisters and continue the same passion over a long time?
That's not true.
This person says, basically, they are actual human beings that have good intentions and can have mature friendships and connections with people, including exes, while being in a relationship.
You know how something just came to mind. You know, when somebody, let me take Alaji's call. Good morning, Alaji. Thanks for calling, sir.
Good morning, Mariah and the lady.
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
The first time I'm able to get you after 1,000 tries.
Okay.
Thank you very much. To contribute to what you are discussing right now, July. That's what I'm going to say. Don't give devil a chance. Once you are up with somebody, just bye-bye forever. That is the best for everybody. I supported everything Obiagiri has been saying since morning.
Thank you.
So that's my contribution.
Okay,
bye-bye.
Let me go to this message. Adetowun says, my ex has been married for 15 years and I almost got down when I saw her after 15 years. But thank God it didn't happen. Some people are, and this is a man, his vulnerability is still...
Okay, so I think the Tokwe has read this Akinwale Lawanson, right?
No.
Okay, hi, my name is Honorable Akinwale Lawanson. Yoruba proverb, same thing. It says, Erekere,
lean for you.
No, Erekere ajabekun. Once you're an ex. You cannot be a friend to an ex. Women think in a very different way. Thanks. Thank you very much, Honorable. I was going to say something, you know, because I know it can be quite. I was telling this story before where my husband had met his ex. We've been married for a while, and he saw his ex, who I know he had a real connection with, and I think he saw her at Muson. We were going for an event, and he saw her, and he told me, "Oh, that is." I said, "Really?" And guess what? I excused myself. I gave him that moment because I knew that he never really had closure because they broke up in a really, really funny way, and I knew he never got closure. Because I know that whenever this person comes up, he wrote a song for her. I mean, he was really connected to this person. So I gave him that moment, and I know he took her number, which was fine. I knew he connected with her at some point, but he was mature enough to know, okay, I just wanted to get closure. I just wanted to have a conversation with you. How is your marriage? This is my marriage. What are you? How many kids you have? So they had that conversation. Now, I don't think they never met face to face, but I knew they had a few conversations. Afterwards, he cut it off.
Did he bring her home?
No, he did not. But the point is that we must learn to marry because we shouldn't have that sledgehammer. No, don't talk to her. Don't communicate. There has to be very clear where we understand the need for maybe a spouse to connect, but then he or she must be mature enough to know, okay, I have found my closure, or you've helped us as far as I want. Maybe you are the one giving us a job. Thank you for the contract you gave us. We appreciate it. We've come here to thank you, and that's it. Yeah. We must know how to handle it. We must not continually run away from an ex because of the fear that it might become Yeah, but they might take over our relationship.
So exes are human beings too. We are not going to, if I meet you on the road, it's not like I'm going to run inside the bush because I don't want to see you. Of course not. We're civil people. We're civil people would greet the normal greeting. But what we're talking about is getting the relationship to a place where you start becoming close again. That's where the problem is. Where now I have an issue with Tope and I do not see any other person to call.
And the ex,
and I'm calling the ex to vent that Tope has just annoyed me. That is where the problem comes. Because before the physical cheating happens, it starts emotionally. And we don't see that emotional aspect. It starts by text messages. You are sending things that normally you would only discuss with your spouse. You are building that emotional connect before finally you meet. And you may not even meet. And even if you don't meet, you have cheated emotionally. We don't talk about that aspect of cheating in relationships because we can't, we don't...
There's no,
yes, it can't be quantified, but that's even like the crux of the matter. You now start hiding messages because you are already connecting emotionally. So the idea is avoid all of those.
Avoid it.
Yeah, so take
I'll come to you, Marian. Come on, second, please. Let me go take Tolu. Good morning, Tolu's been holding for a while. Good morning, Tolu.
Yeah, good morning.
Thanks for calling. You're live.
Yeah. Everyone has spoken very well. Okay. Very sensitive topic. However, human beings are very emotional. I hope you're hearing me.
Very clearly.
Yeah. Okay. Human beings are very emotional. I will just advise. He is like a man or a woman. Keep away from it. If you are already in a relationship that is working for you, except the relationship is not working for you, keep away from your old flame. Candid advice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tolu. Go ahead.
I just had a sentence to say that what you describe is not exclusive to exes. It can be with anyone or anybody. It can even be with a friend that you just met. It can be with, a neighbor. So those sort of relationships where you have to hide away from your husband or hide away from your wife, that is wrong. But it's not that this is something that happens only with someone who has been an ex or who is an ex. That's what I was saying.
Okay, we have to wrap up on this, but I think in a nutshell, what we've just discussed here is more about maturity. Don't start what you can't finish. But Yoruba says,
don't smell
whatever you're not going to eat, don't smell it. So be responsible enough to set your boundaries. And even if in any way where your ex needs to be in your life, maybe they are assisting you for something really important. Imagine your ex is the person that wants to help you get one major contract. That's fine, but you must set boundaries. As she said, your ex is not God. So you must always know where to start and when to cut it off. Okay, that's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we'll move on to a whole other topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Made Kuti in the view. It's still 7 of 7, and we've been doing a whole lot of protesting. The only thing that remains is just to carry placard.
It's about 5 of 7, to be honest, because ask your question. I have so much to speak about once we finish.
We will not give you the time because it's 7 of 7.
I will make the time now. He said he will not ask questions about science.
No.
Neuroplasticity.
And based on...
He asked a question that was subjective about high life. And he did not finalize his answer about a Kuti question where there are only 3 of us.
Editor, scratch this part out.
That could have possibly composed the music.
Editor, scratch this part out.
Stupidity is an act of ignorance.
Hey God, my dear.
Was composed by which Kuti?
Femi Kuti.
Is that your final answer?
God, I'm Shion Kuti. No, wait, Femi Kuti.
You said
Femi Kuti. Wait.
You can't be allowed.
No, you've not asked me anything.
Everyone.
You've not asked me anything. So my final answer.
No. All I have to say is this show is really about drinking.
Yeah, that's the whole idea.
The questions don't matter.
That's the whole
Justice
idea.
is out the window.
We throw caution to
we
the
have
wind
no
right
morals here.
On the 7 of 7.
doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle.
Thanks for staying with us. I wanted to end that segment. In fact, I had ended the segment just for Mariam Longe to throw in, to do my job, throwing in an angle. And I'm like, sounds interesting. So Mariam was saying, would you like to establish it? Mariam was saying that, you know, in a situation where you are in a relationship with somebody, but this your ex is about to be your ticket out of poverty. You're in a serious fix where you know that there's nothing. But the ex now says, for me to come and help you, you must come back to me and leave your spouse. This is a true story. I have seen it. Nobody said they're here. I know of the story. This person came right in and took over this person's marriage. But it was a trade-off of love over opportunity or love over comfort. Do I stay with the person I love because I truly love her? Or do I tell myself, you know what, this ex brings a huge opportunity that is a life that might never come back again. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Let me take it. At least from where I am with this ex, I'll be sending money to you people. I'll be making sure you will be fine. You'll be all right. But at least I will be living the best life. That is a trade-off. And these are things, it might be immoral, but these are decisions people are making. Because you get to a point, you see, when you're in your 30s, it's difficult to make that kind of decision because you feel like I'm in love, I have my husband. When you get to maybe mid-50, you're a 50-year-old, or you're early 50, where you've established, and your kids are grown up, they can understand. And you find one ex who's ready to take you to the next level. You see life differently.
I don't
see life totally differently, don't you think?
I don't think that it has to do with the age. I think it has to do with who you are. Of course, age comes with its experience, and based on the experience, you might start looking at life a bit differently and judging things differently. We say it a lot with marriage. We say, oh, when you're in your 20s, you say, I want all that handsome. When you're in your 30s, you be like, okay. Let me take it again. When you're in your 20s, tall, dark, handsome. When you are in your 30s, even if it is not tall, at least let him be dark and handsome. When you're in your 40s, okay, dark. Even if it's just remove handsome, remove tall, I will just take it. By the time you're in your 50s, any man, come, I will marry. So that's a narrative. But there's some people that will say, I'm not doing. I'll wait. I believe in what I want, and I'll wait. Even if I don't get it until I'm 60, I'll still get that ideal person I want. So back to this story of a woman having to compromise. Spouse yes. Having to compromise because of financial benefits to the family. It's not new. We've heard it. We've heard it several times where they say you go to apply for a job and you find out that the interviewer is your ex, and the lady says, I'll give you the job, or the man says, I'll give you a job. And in exchange for all the other benefits that will come, and people have been heard to compromise on it. My question is, can you live with yourself in the reality of who you have now become? Because for you to be able to do that, it means that you have decided that you are compromising on you've sold out your marriage for funds. You've sold out your values for funds. Are you able to live with yourself? And in this world, with what we're seeing on social media, a lot of people are able to live with themselves. And it becomes so bad. I'm sure I've discussed it outside the show. I don't think I've mentioned it on air, that while as a TV presenter here, somebody sent me a message. And I was extremely shocked at the context of that message. Like, what are you expecting? I'm married. Like, you know I am married. Why would you be propositioning me on this level? Like, I did not understand. I took it very, very personal. I was not asking myself, like, did I give a vibe? Was I sending a message? What did I do that communicated to this person that the person could have asked me that thing? So I blocked the number. The person now stumbled and saw me and told me, you're a woman now. You're a fine woman. People will ask you. You will say no. It's not wrong for me not to ask you. That, and because other people are agreeing that all these ones, is that not the only one? I have the one that when I go to Ibadan, I have one I go to Abuja, and they agree. So, and they are all married because I prefer married women. Yes. Because they will not carry belly for me. So that was my reality. And Many
not
people
your
were
reality.
I think that was a shock for me. Like that was the first time I was seeing that as a reality that people were going through that experience. So a lot of people are willing to compromise on their values for financial benefits, even compromise on their marriage financial benefits. Can you live with yourself?
So I agree with what you say about age, because I've heard stories too, and I feel that men, don't crucify me today, but I feel like men take these decisions that they will call rational decisions. I know of someone who said it was a rational decision. I've been with this woman for 10, 15 years. We have been in the thick of things. Things are hard. You know, my career wasn't moving anywhere. She was at home taking care of the kids. The way he saw it, in another 10 to 15 years, they will still be, you know, where they are. And then he meets an ex who was going to change, who was going to help, you know, further his career. Money was going to come in. And he thought that the best thing to do was to be with the ex now. And whatever he makes from being in that relationship with, he sends home. He says, I will divorce her. She will have an opportunity to even go out and meet other people and also live a better life. So it's not 2-0. This person thought, if I stay, it's 2-0. If I go, it's, you know, she gets something,
1-1.
I get something. She will get over me in time anyway, you know. So, but I like how you said that, are you going to be able to live with the person that you have become? But some people have been happy to live with the sort of person that they have become. They even feel that they've done you a favor by putting their, you know, by taking.
Because it goes back to the foundation of many marriages in Nigeria. Many of us marry for different reasons, at different levels.
Security.
Some of us have the, lovey-dovey, we fall in love, and others are just either they're arranged or maybe a marriage of opportunity. There are different reasons. But you see, at certain ages in your life, you can accept those reasons. But as you grow and mature, and you come of age, you've accomplished something, you now realize, you know what, I think it's time for me to be happy. I think it's time for me to find real love. That thing that was giving you butterflies when you're in your 20s, that person is looking for that butterfly at 50. And say, you know what, if this my ex can give me those butterflies, I will stay with him for the next 20, 30 years of my life, and I'll be happy. My kids are mature enough, and they can say, so it could be a compromise, but because you tasted that butterfly with your ex, but you compromised and married somebody else for different reasons. But unfortunately, it didn't work. So life happens to people, and we must, as we discuss these things, we help people understand that, not to normalize it, but we can help them give some kind of understanding. So they know there are options.
Consequences.
See the consequences.
Are there consequences?
Hey, poverty has a way of knocking out your values.
Thank you.
May we not see the kind of poverty that you can even deny your child just for a morsel of bread. It gets to that point where your values are not, like you don't know who you are anymore. And that's why they always advise that find something, just find it and keep pushing and keep believing and keep praying, whatever you need to do, so that you are not in a state where anything can happen and you can easily sell your soul. And this happens across, you know, the globe. It happens to almost everyone. You just get to a situation where you're looking, you're not asking yourself, I've been holy since, I had integrity since now. It has not paid me. I had this one since now. But where am I? Look at the person that does not have. Look at the life. You're now comparing and you have to make some decisions. So we need to, I don't know whether it's to pray now
Remember this
or to believe now that anyhow, God, don't put me in a situation where I will sell my soul for a morsel of bread just because I'm very poor to make the right decision.
Said something that reminded me of a story. Let me take this call for Okporo from Ikorodu. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I just want to contribute to this topic.
Yes.
The last topic on this program of S.
Yes.
I want to say that this is very dicey. Very, very dicey. If you have a SS and you are still living with me, it's very dicey to your immediate family, because these are signals that, you know, we have feelings, we have body chemistry, and we always say when you see your SS. So for that reason, you have to set a boundary. Otherwise, what happened before, you still have a way of it playing itself, and that will set a fire on your family. If there's not taken, so it's always good that when you have an S, you set a boundary that, okay, this is where you can't stop communicating, but you must know the kind of communication you have with your S, and you also let your spouse be aware of such S before, so that it can be, you know, it can also be aware that you have an S before, so that you won't have any kind of suspicion. So that's my conclusion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Okpa. I didn't hear most of it, but I think you guys...
Communication and boundaries.
Okay. Okay, the reason why you're talking... I heard of a story. Now, I don't know this person. I only heard of the story. I'm not sure how true it is. But the story I heard when you were talking reminded me that this lady, according to this pastor, she was in the world. And it was a pastor that was giving us this story. She was your regular girl, and she was partying, had boyfriends, and she had a guy, and she was sexually active. She wasn't, she did a lot of worldly things that we see. And then, I think in her mid-20s or something, she now became a Christian and decided to be very pious. She stopped all her lifestyle, stopped all those things, and now entered marriage. She wanted to marry specifically a pastor. And she now got into this marriage with a man of God, who was a man of God. And there's a man of God that see other room side as if it was the spiritual matter. So he wasn't satisfying her in so many ways because he's a man of God and he was praying and fasting and he was one of those maybe once in 6 months kind of person. Now this is a girl that has experienced it in that world. She has seen that with an ex. There's a particular ex that they used to do drugs together, they used to do stuff, and she really got away. She took a lot of deliverance to get her out of that. So she left him, but she really loved that guy. And she left him and now entered this marriage. Initially, it was perfect because that's what she wanted. She wanted to calm down. But then as she started growing, and I think maybe in her mid-40s or something, she got to a point in her life where she felt that I miss that guy. That guy had gone through rehab. He has cleaned up himself. He was married to somebody else. He wasn't happy in his own marriage. They reconnected as friends to help him to Christ. And before you know it, before you say Jack Robinson.
Okay, in the shadow started happening. Helped him to Christ.
No, she tried to, because the man was a man of God. He was actually a pastor in church. That's her husband. No, so she was a woman she was a real woman. She had become a really, really, but because of that, her former lifestyle, it's somewhere inside her. It's still inside.
So when Jesus cleanses everything as if he
didn't cleanse this one.
It's a constant journey. So, it's a constant. But I think
the point is, so that story, because I remember I got the story many, many years ago. So this woman
letting go of B. Because you've chosen to face A, and that's life. Yeah. There'll be price to pay, and when you are paying that price, you must always put in the picture the long-term benefits of what you're hoping to get at the end of the day. So, if she's considered, I've already done a few years following this system, and it didn't work for me, and I'm looking at 20 years down the line, I cannot continue like this. I'm willing to make the sacrifice. Let me take my joy now, regardless of whatever happens. That's our own choice. Some people get away with it. When we're young, we hear stories now. Bad girls, they'll have done like 15 abortions, do orishi, they will marry, they will still born. You see girl that is being good girl all her life. Virgin marriage. They will not find out that she cannot get pregnant. Another one, they be good girl all her life. Then she just, one day like this, she just say, oh, I just fell into sin once. Pin, carry belle, or HIV. So some people don't have those opportunities to play around. Your life might not carry, your grace might not give you those opportunities. Like the grace you have is just one, don't make that mistake. For some other people, they can do 10. And it will go. Because you don't know what your path is. That's why we follow what is good from what is bad. Even if you hear the stories, I can see women that would marry 4, 5, they can marry 4 different men. And all the men, very successful. Plenty, and then you will see one that will just walk away from a relationship and never end. Nothing happens again. Don't look at another person. Face your own journey. If your spirit is okay with it, that I can bear with this challenge, I would carry this cross. Go on and carry it. But what BC said was a very, very important point concerning the fact that may we not be confronted with what would test our value. May we not face the kind of temptation that we will fall for. It's a prayer point, because like I said, that particular story that happened to me, the person sent me a message that he was taking to Dubai. I say, when I was a single babe in the streets of Lagos, no, they did not use Dubai to catch me. You cannot now, in marriage, use Dubai to catch me. But some people, it's like that. They will feel like,
wow, finally.
Yes. And they will another time, truthfully, in my life, I had not gone to Dubai then. So I could also look at it and say, my friend, she did not go to Dubai. They offered her. She did not go. So now, 20 years down the line, she's still in a poor marriage. Or I will look at another friend and say, she waited 10 years. After, finally, she started traveling with her husband. There will always be an example for good and an example for evil.
Fantastic.
Choose the one that
let me take this call, then I'll come to you, BC. Good morning. Are you there? Thanks for calling.
Good morning, Morayo.
Morning, Mr. Hassan.
I have a question for you, Morayo, today.
Okay.
Who told you that Men of God are local people in the other room.
What?
And not
Who told you that a man of God
you're not supposed to be,
is a
sir.
local man in the other room? Let me tell you
They are
one
praying and fasting, sir. Please.
Wait. Let me say it all. Let me say. You see, religion, I don't know in Christianity. You see, in Islam, they taught you how to go about it with your wife.
Oh.
You understand? How to go about it, be romantic. Don't think that because you are a man of God, then in the other room you'll be failing. You fail forever. That is number one. Number two, you see this issue of F and excesses. We have to be very careful with it. Because you see this issue of excess, let me start it this way. It's good for a man to be good, it's good for a woman to be good. It doesn't mean that you are destined to be husband and wife. No. There are some girlfriends that are very, very good, and they remain your friends for life. There are some men that are your boyfriend that will remain, that are good, and they remain your friends for life. And you can help them out. You can help their children in life. There's nothing wrong like that. But with that, but you see, the issue is this: you don't go far with it. When you go far with it, emotion will keep it.
Right.
And when emotion creeps in, anything can happen.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Hassan.
So I wanted to say that sometimes before the biggest break comes, there will come first the biggest temptation. The kind of temptation you will see and you say, if I miss this, that is it. I may never get it back. And that's why they say we must learn to keep the faith. You must learn to ask yourself, if I miss this, what's the guarantee that if I take this, what's the guarantee that my life will still not go like this? With everything that I know and everything that I've tried to become, everything I've preserved myself through, what's the guarantee that this will actually lift me? Because sometimes when we see those very juicy opportunities where you have to do evil to get it, it seems like it's lifting you, but you may still come down like this.
Yeah.
So you ask yourself, can I close my eyes from this? I know that this man, wants this relationship to continue even while you're in your marriage, and they're saying that's the best way that can take you out of that poverty. But even if this doesn't happen, is there any hope that I have in my God that one day he will remember me and take me out of this poverty?
Exactly.
So if you remember, because sometimes when we are faced with those situations, it seems like all hope is lost. There's nothing, there's no other option. But if you look closely, you may actually see other options. And even though you don't see, and you just trust, anything can happen in a few days, in a few weeks. We've seen testimonies of people who said, I got this lucrative opportunity, but he had some illegal things inside. And I held on and I said no. A few weeks later, somebody just called me and said, this happened and that happened, and that was how I came. They give such testimonies in church. So the thing is, ask yourself, like she said initially, can I live with this? And what's the guarantee that this will even work, even if I try it?
Let me take London. Thank you, Colin, for calling, Ade.
Yes, good morning.
Morning,
What
sir.
I want to say is this. A mark is a mark. One mark is always remarkable. So, depending on what plan you guys have done in the past, and the safety of the guy will be remembering it. So, what you have had the other room before, without it, so that mark will always be remarkable. God bless you.
Thank you, Ade. Ade wasn't clear also. I hope the viewers heard it at home. Go ahead,
I
man.
know we've talked about people who maybe because of poverty are going to make some bad decisions. We need to talk to people who make a lot of money and feel that the world
belongs to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they can buy anything they want.
They can buy anything they want. They can be anybody anything that they want. So that's, there's that verse in the Bible, give me neither wealth nor poverty, so that I may not think I have too much that I deny you, or too little that, I do something bad. So it's a message for all of us, whether you are poor or rich. Rich people too make mistakes because they feel that they have everything that that they need, or
looking for the one they don't
everybody
need.
wants what they have. And I think we see that play out a lot, especially with wealthy men who think, okay, now I started with this young woman when everything was okay, but you know, I remember there was this ex who did not like me when I didn't have any money. Now I have enough money, I can go and chase her, and then she will see now that I'm different. And you know, so even in any situation, just make sure that you're a decent person. I will refer to what you said again, that whatever decision you make, are you going to be able to sit with yourself and ask yourself that this person I've become today, am I proud of this person? And as everything, you know, as we know, everything has its consequences, has its benefits. So are you willing to
take this message from somebody? He says, from my own experience, life has taught me a lot. I've sponsored someone whom I was so intimate with, and I was very sure I would settle with her at the end of the day. But she ended up marrying another person, and I was devastated. Allowing such relationship to such relation close to your matrimonial home is dangerous and can lead to family breakup. I would advise serious measure by taking, as a man, I cannot allow my wife to have any call with her ex in my house, or you choose one. That's my opinion. But I would recall when I was having some little economic challenges, and she heard of challenges and tried to offer me support, but I declined because I never want to have any affairs with my ex again.
Who is
That's
an ex?
somebody
The
who
person
you were
you have moved away from
intimate-
now.
Yes.
But if you have not moved away, is she an ex?
but you're not
This person is telling me.
This person is an ex.
That this person is not an ex in my head. An ex, you should move away physically, emotionally. You have moved away.
If you
This person
define
is not
ex
an-
as that,
that means
Let me take Victory.
I don't truly have exes.
Good morning, Victory. Thanks for calling.
Thank you very much. First time I will get through to you in 10 years.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I just want to share my experience with you ladies. I love Tope, I love all of you. But I disagree with Tope this morning that you can visit your ex if you have an issue. Like if it's a doctor, you can go to see him if he can help you out. I disagree with her because if you go with a gynae problem and you have to put off all your dresses for your ex, you should go ahead to do that.
No.
Now, my experience that I had is this. The wife of my ex wanted a job, and I was in a position to give her a job. So I went ahead to help her. So what I saw later was that my ex started to send very amorous text messages to me. And my husband got to see one of them, and he was very much annoyed with me. I tried to explain to him that I got the wife a job. He said, and so what? So if you don't want your relationship to be in danger, it is very dangerous. Stay away from your ex. You have already done away with him, so let it be so forever. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's take a few messages. Interesting.
You know, interesting. The message, let me just
Yes,
respond
address
a
it,
bit.
yeah.
I remember when I was about to have my first child, and all the things the doctors and everybody did to my body, I was like, what? So all the sit with your leg closed, don't show your body, was so that I will come to the labor room and they will do all the things that they do. Every body part out there for the world to see. So if it happens that she is in labor,
and
in one village, and it's the ex that is there,
I will not say
don't hold your head.
Let me take this coming from Prince Ogbudu in Abuja. He said, I'm watching your show at the moment, and I want to disagree with the lady that said men don't go into platonic relationships without looking for something. Okay. To me, that is a biased and hateful spirit.
It's a man that said it.
That is capable. She's quoted Steve Harvey. But let's so see that is a biased and hateful speech that is capable of destroying a good relationship. We are all wired differently in life. All men can never be the same. Neither are women. Yes, for sure. There can be relationships a man will be in without any ever expecting anything from such a woman. They are clean, pure, and nothing in return for the man in such relationships. Going with the mindset that men always expect something will make you see everything that crosses your path as he will. That is the real challenge with many women today. They see every as he will ask for, even when such a man has nothing absolutely in his mind. I think we should be careful and believe him. So it's a mindset that many people believe, men are moved by what they're in skirt. Men, they will tell us all those things in church. Oh, the neck is the women are the neck. And we just put these things in our head. Oh, I am the neck. Oh, men are moved by what they see. And suddenly, every single man. Women are also moved by what they see. Yeah, sure. If I see a man who still has TDH, I would look at him twice. Like, who's that brother? Where did he come from? So
yes, I remember too. When we were young and dating, I just never had any. There's some things that people used to say. I heard about it later. I just figured a man is a man, a woman. We meet and we talk and we get to know each other. But then I met a group of girls who their own mindset was different. Oh, don't worry, a man. They made it seem like as long as you're a woman, a man will do anything for you. He wants to be with you or get into your skirts anyhow. I didn't have that mindset. I felt that a man would want to get to know you. So it wasn't that they were completely wrong, but it wasn't true for every man. Do you understand? And so for a lot of things that we say here also, it's not like we're saying it's complete. It's true for everyone, but we can refer to the ones that we have, connected with or we find relatable. So
and again, also to verify what you said. What you're saying is that if a man cannot, it's difficult for a man to be in a platonic relationship with somebody he actually has feelings for. Yeah. So that I have an inkling of an idea that I like this girl.
If they find you attractive.
They find you attractive.
It's difficult
for me to be
platonic relationship.
But there are no absolute. There are some men. It's not absolute.
No absolute. But though me, I've never seen. There are some men, but they've not come my way. I've not seen. So sometimes too, you would speak based on the experiences and the things you have seen, and that's okay. But there are no absolutes. There's nobody that will make a statement and say this is 100% and all of that. We're human beings. We have different dynamics. But I wanted to just quickly add small thing. That example that you gave, where is the man that had to make the rational decision and taking in all of that? The woman can even find out and still live with the man. Let the woman be the one to make the compromise that this my ex wants to help us. You will find that the man, the husband now, who they are helping, will disconnect from that woman. And then with either the marriage crashes or he starts having another relationship. Men don't take it, even if you are bringing all the bread home. The fact that there's another man, another presence that is helping you make our lives comfortable. Men don't swallow it easily.
There are some men that are taking it, girl.
Are you serious? And they are men?
Yep. Yes. Their houses taking it right now.
Okay, as long as he's helping us pay the bills.
Oh God. Never see.
We have to wrap up. Any comments on social media as we wrap up this?
Yes. Oladidi said doctors will know where to touch and how to touch. Boost Your Social Psych says they pay tithes to get blessed. They sleep with men to gain favor. Only in Nigeria. Moritala Konde says things are happening in the marriage of some too, religious men and women, that if you hear, you may start practicing your religion with levity.
The more you look, the less you see.
Honestly. He says, but my question, must you engage in extramarital affairs to gain something? See it that you're having fun. If you're not enjoying it, stay with your spouse. It is not an investment like people say, see tithes.
Okay, we have to wrap up. I think one of the important things one of the reasons why this was an important conversation is to help modern homes, modern relationships to realize that these are conversations that can come up at some point where an ex comes into the family and there's probably a need at the time. But there has to be ways where we build boundaries, understand what you need to do, not to make one party feels insecure over the other. That's on one end. And there's some people that make mature decisions, but they say, you know what, I want to go back to my ex. I've lived with you for 25 years of my life. I've given you 25 years of my life. I'm done with this. And they want to move on with their life. But now, biblically, it's wrong. And also with the Quran, it's wrong. But these are modern times where people are making these kind of decisions. And people must understand that, listen, that's the new world we live in, where people are seeking for happiness, the butterflies, they want something that takes them to a different level. And they don't want to just stay like our mothers just stayed, even though they were unhappy many times. They just stayed. Because for them, you have to stay. But these days, people are saying, you know what, my ex did it for me. I'm going back to my ex. Or my ex is a helper, but we just have to know how to manage these things in a more mature way.
I'll be able to go back to my ex.
Biblically, I would say stick to your marriage and focus on face your front. God will never give you energy. God will never